Okay, before we start solving equations using algebra tiles, we're going to go over some vocabulary. So let's take a look at this expression right here. Okay, so 2x squared. Okay, the 2 is your coefficient, the x is your variable, and the exponent here, 2, can be, we could say it's an exponent, a power, or a degree. So let's look at another one. I try to keep the colors the same too. Okay, so let's look at this one right here. So if I write 2x squared plus 4x plus 3, again, this number 2 is the coefficient, the x represents the variable, and the exponent 2 is called the exponent, the power, or degree. When you say plus 4x, the 4 is your coefficient, and the x is your variable. And then we say plus 3, that 3 is called your constant. So when you hear me talking about math or teaching it, I will be using this vocabulary, and it's important that you know it. Okay, if you look at this whole thing is an expression, and the reason it's an expression, and you told me this before, it's because it does not have an equal sign. And to tell me how many terms it has, this is one term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. So this expression has 3 terms. Okay, so I said it's an expression because there's no equal sign. Okay, and then now we look down here, we have this 2x plus 3 equals 6. The 2 would be your coefficient. This is your variable, a constant, and it equals another constant. And this one we want to try to solve for the x. This one we know is an equation because it has this equal sign. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to solve one-step equations using the algebra tiles. So we're going to model. So notice the equal sign is here and the equal sign is right here. So I'm going to model on the left-hand side x plus 2, and it's equal to 5. So remember, we want to isolate the variable so we can find out what the x equals. Okay, so this says x plus 2 equals 5. We want to get the x by itself, so we want to eliminate these 2 right here. The only way we're going to get rid of those is we're going to create 0 pairs or subtract. Okay, so whatever you do to one side of an equation, you have to do to the other. You guys are familiar with that from last year? Okay? So I subtracted 2 on this side, so I'm going to subtract 2 on this side. Now I'm going to make my 0 pairs. So remember, a positive and negative cancels it out. And then x is equal to 3. Okay, we're going to do the next one. X minus 4. So there's my x minus 4. Equals 2. So there's a positive 2. So x minus 4 equals 2. I want to isolate the variable, so I want to undo this right here. So I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to create 0 pairs. So if these are 4 negatives, I'm going to have to do 4 positives. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I added 4. I'm going to add 4. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my 0 pairs. And now x equals 2, 4, 6. So your answer is x equals 6. Okay, so the next problem we're going to do is x minus 3 equals negative 2. So we're going to model it. So x minus 3 equals negative 2. Okay, so we want to isolate that variable. So if this is a minus 3, we're going to add 3 to this side. And whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Now we're going to create our 0 pairs. And x equals 1.